Welcome to Pete and Hannah's Watch List. I'm your host, Pete Mitchell, and we're here today for We Interrupt Regular Programming, our TV podcast. On today's show, we're going to review the new episodes of Dark Matter, which is on Apple TV Plus, and the final episode of The Sympanthiser, which is on HBO in the States and has been on Foxtel and Binge in Australia. But before we begin, I'm going to tell you viewers and your listeners what you should do. Hit the notification button and you'll get great content like this one. Like, follow, subscribe all our channels and leave a comment on what shows that you guys are currently watching right now. Great content up on the channel. Last week we carried the top 25 so far of the AFI Top 100. Really good podcast, and it was good to deep dive into all the shows that we've done so far. And we're looking forward to the next 25, which starts this Friday with In the Heat of the Night. Also, we're going to recap Furiosa this week. We went and saw that in cinemas. And we're also going to look at the J-Lo movie, Atlas, which is currently streaming on Netflix. And we're going to look at that on What's Next. And then Thursday, we're going to have movie news. And we're going to continue our cinema experience. This week it is Choc Tops. Well, that should be some fun. Let's get on to today's show, and let's start with Dark Matter. Where we left off was episode 2, so we're going to recap episode 3 and 4 today. Remember, this show stars Joel Edgerton, also Jennifer Connelly, and Alice Braga. And I was watching Hypnotic the other night, and God, she's good in that. She's also good in this. Okay, so episode 3, we pick up right after where Danielle is shot in one world, and Leighton tells Amanda that Danielle is killed. Leighton also tells Jason that they don't want to restrain him, but they are prepared to do anything to get their Jason back. Leighton then realizes that he's actually talking to a different Jason and not he's Jason. And so then he's trying to find out how the black boxes work. In the other world, Jason is staring at his box on a phone and is surprised because he's got an upcoming dinner party. And he's really trying to show to Daniela that everything's the same, but it's not. And Daniela is starting to clue onto it. And he's making weird decisions all the time that is causing friction. And so they have the dinner party and everything looks like it's going rosy. And he makes a big speech. But at the end of the dinner party, they're having a dance. No one's there, just those two. And Daniela says to him, "You can tell me if something's going wrong." And then he makes up something that he... just to try and just lure it out that he nearly got killed, and then, he's trying to live every day by once. So he thinks he's placated her, but he hasn't. Continuing on back in the other world, so we're going back and forth in the two worlds. Amanda is trying to get Jason out of the restraints, and Leighton is questioned by the police because all these people went missing, including Jason, and Jason's come back miraculously. And so finally it comes down to the fact that they start torturing Jason. None of it works. They see every which way they try and work out a way that Jason's going to tell them how to get back in the black boxes, but he doesn't know because he's not the Jason. Ryan shows up. He's the one that gave it away that Danielle and him were talking. That's Danielle got shot. Jason tells Ryan, and Ryan is shocked. He then tells Jason that he created a drug for him, and that drug helps you in the black box. So then him and Jason and Amanda escape to the black box, and there's a fight right at the end, and someone gets their fingers chopped off, and Jason and Amanda, they escape to the black box world, and that's the end of episode 3. Now episode 4, how it picks up is they're going through the rooms in the black box, and there's all different realities there. And, some worse than others, some no atmosphere in the world, some all water, some snowing. It's all different. So then Amanda and Jason are getting to know each other better. In the other section, Jason has quit his job. He then tries to convince Leighton to give him money. He then shows Leighton the black boxes. The Leighton in the other world is now in the black boxes because he couldn't get Jason out. So he's going through some stuff in the black box world. And then the other Leighton goes, okay, I'm going to give you money to do this research. So then Jason has quit his job. He buys his son a car. The son and the mum think this guy's so dodgy. And then now he's given a car. The son's happy. But then Danielle is like, you're giving me a car. You've quit your job. And now you're researching. It's just all coming too much. And it's all starting to unravel for the other Jason. Then we get into the other world. And then Amanda and Jason work out that they have control of what world they see by the thoughts they have. So she thought about snow, and that's why they ended up in a snow world. Jason thought about heaps of different realities before he went into the black box, and now that's what they have. So this show, I love it. I love the little different realities. I love the two worlds and things unfolding really quickly. I love it's just all set up by a click. The show is a continuation of my love of Apple TV Plus. I'm sorry for the people that don't actually like it, but you might just listen to this and you don't have to subscribe to Apple TV Plus. But for me, Apple TV Plus is a definite one on my list. Okay, now the last show I'm going to talk about today is the final episode of The Sympanthiser. This show has been a joy to watch. It's only 7 episodes. The episodes are between 50 minutes and 60 minutes long, and it's about spies. Yep, double crosses and triple crosses, and we come to the end. The boys are heading back to, trying to head back to Vietnam. They land in Bangkok. The captain is still seeing ghosts. They see Claude. Claude gives the captain information where, listen to this tape. Claude knows that he is a communist sympathiser, communist spy. He tells the captain, you don't have to go on this mission. You take this drug. You'll have 2 days of dysentery, but I want to talk to you about what you have done, and we'll get you out of this suicide mission, because basically it is a suicide mission. And you see starting people get shot. But Bon and the captain get captured, and then we go back through the story of how he's trying to confess. His friend that he was sending messages to, turns out he is part of the camp there, and he is sort of like the superior to the commander that he's been interrogated by, and they both know that he's holding back a secret. So they torture him to get the secret out. And that secret is that, 1, his father was a French priest, and 2, the girl that always had the information on him wasn't killed. She was, well, he says she was attacked by a Coke bottle, but it turns out she was sexually assaulted. And they meet each other in the camp, and then it unfolds like that. And then it comes down to him and his friend, who's been disfigured by napalm, talking about the communist state and what is important for the communist state. And then they have this deep conversation about how nothing is important. And then the captain realizes there's only one way out for him and Bon, and that is to take matters in his own hands. He takes the mask off his friend. He handcuffs him, and then he gets Bon out, and then he decides they run out through the camp, through driving out. When he's got the mask on, Bon is dressed up as an officer, and then they drive out, and they end up escaping on a boat as boat people. And how it ends is the captain is telling his story, how he writes every day about all the people that has crossed his paths, and he sees all the ghosts of all the people that have died in his presence. And that is the end of the Sympanthiser. Great book adaptation. Robert Downey Jr. is amazing in this. I really enjoyed this show. It hasn't been popular at all on HBO. It's been one of the least popular shows. But I would say Ho is on the Australian guy. Fantastic. He's acting in this episode brilliant. Him getting tortured, him relaying stories from the past, just really worked in this episode. His acting was off the charts in this one. They don't go into what happened to all the other characters because it was about the captain. It was about Bond. And I really like that aspect of the show. And that is it. I would give this show a definite watch. If you ever see it around, 7 episodes, get it done in a weekend. And I'd definitely give this show a golf clap. It is really well made. Great acting. Fast stories. Like, you didn't have to play, you weren't mucking around playing with your phone or anything when you're watching it, because you had to pay attention. It was really good. And I love the double cross, triple cross nature of it and the unfolding of the story. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. That is it for today's show. Don't forget, tomorrow is What's Next. We'll review Furiosa. Big week on the channel, and next week we've got coming up a draft, and we're drafting the episode with movies from year 2000, celebrate Hannah's birthday, which was last couple of weeks ago, and we'll have our great friends Bonnie and Danny on that show, so it should be a fantastic episode next week. Thanks everyone for listening. Long live cinema. Has been a great week for the old cinema, but hopefully it will bounce back in the upcoming weeks. And until tomorrow when we catch up for What's Next, it's bye.